up against Samson Ryan of Richmond. Both of those two rucks in pretty good form so far. We're underway for round 6 of the Smithies VFL competition between Coburg and the Tigers. Breaking through the tackle there nicely. And Wilson wraps him up and should have a stoppage not too far from where we started. A couple of debutants for the Tigers today, Nick Collier and Tom McCarthy. So congratulations to those two. Just lost his footing there, did Ryan. It's going to be a free kick awarded to the big fella from Richmond. Thought about giving the handball off there to Street. In the end, does use him on the wing. Here is the captain, Street. He's coming off a good performance last week against the Demons, and the Tigers will get the first inside forward 50 here. Big pack of players, no one able to hold on to the mark. Wrapping up him in a tackle there is Kalparkas, who's another debutant today, as the Burgers, Deacon Kalparkas and Giacomo Thomas making their debuts.
Inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Wrapped up on that occasion is Hugo Bramell, back from a suspension. He missed last week's loss to Frankston, but back into the heart of that Coburg midfield. And speaking of suspensions, Kyle Waitman is going to miss the next couple of games, including today, after he was suspended for striking during the week. As we've got a free kick here going to the Tigers, so they'll get the first shot at goal for the day. Jacob Kazitsky it's going to be.
Yeah, Cooper Kerr, you could see the frustration after he gave away that free kick. He knew it was there, but he was quite disappointed with the efforts there.
Really led the Tigers to that victory a week and a half ago. Did Jacob Kazitsky, kicked 4 goals straight from his 14 disposals. He's got a chance for the first today, and he has snuck it home. So Richmond off to the fast start. They get the first goal.
Yeah, Kazitsky, as you mentioned, dropped back from the AFL and had 4 goals. He had 3 up until half-time last week, so that'll do his confidence a world of good after a bit of a shaky start to the year for Kazitsky through the AFL system. But it seems like he's finding his form, Michael.
Absolutely. That's 5 goals now in a game in a couple of minutes, so he'll be looking to press back into that forward line.
So we'll take it back to the middle here of Piranha Park. Kazitsky with the last goal there after Cooper Kerr gave away the free kick. Lovely bounce. Winning the tap down are the Tigers, wrapping up in a tackle though. Giving away a free kick, that's another one Cooper Kerr has given away, and the clearing kick from Wilson inside forward 50. Just affected there on the spoil nicely. The hands there from Walker worked out, and they'll try and move this one out of the danger zone. It was Trudgeon getting involved once again. He's been in good form for the Burgers as they use the outer wing here. That's Luke. So it's De Into Sante. He's been in great form for the Burgers. Had 4 goals last week in their loss against Frankston. And they'll go inside forward 50 for the first time today, but just that was Tom Brindley there. Just going back and taking a pretty easy interception after a pretty poor inside forward 50 entry. And he'll kick the Tigers out.
To a contest up the line. Elnor was the target, but Coburg with representation. Crunching tackle laid on Bramell. Coburg retained possession. Walker playing in front and taking the mark. Tintinasante kicked 4 goals, 1 last week in Frankston. He spots up Ernst. And the vertical leap apparent as young Caleb takes the mark.
Yeah, much better entry there from Coburg. Their first one they turned over quite quickly, but Caleb Ernst, the big fella, at full stretch, takes a nice mark. Opportunity to get one back here for Coburg in the early stages.
Country footy star, young Caleb Ernst from Strathfield, say, out Ballarat, Bendigo way. He's former Bendigo pioneer. He's a Category B listed development player for the Coburg side. He's played the last 2 games. That's not his best kick at goal. And it's out on the full. So disappointing result, but a good sign for Ernst as he gets involved early as Elnor brings it in.
Yeah, opportunity going begging there for Coburg, and Richmond moving on quickly. Ryan's the target, but it'll go out the back. Worked out nicely there for May. Just waiting for a few numbers to get back. He'll just go long down the line. It's a nice ball, just brought to ground there First at it here was Brumell. As you said, Michael, coming back into the side today. He had that important goal in their victory over Collingwood. Just taking the mark on the outer side here is Kennedy. We'll go across the face here to Corigliano. Nice ball inside there to Tui. And the switch is on here for the Burgers. Here's Roland. Just building nicely, although Richmond has set up well and able to get their players across. They might just be forced to go down the line. It's just 15 metres there to Reece Galvin. And the Tigers have set up well here. Here's McKenzie. He uses Brown. It was a dangerous ball. He plays on immediately. Finds Trudgeon. He's had a few early touches. Just shrugging that tackle off nicely. There was Tui. Ran himself into a bit of trouble. Had to go back to Trudgeon. Just dropping the ball there. And the handball comes out. And the clearing kick from Lachlan Street. Umpire said touch play on. And the players just waiting for the umpire's whistle there. And we'll have a stoppage right in front of us here on the broadcast wing.
Little scrappy early on. Donovan Tui heavily involved early. 5 disposals. It's been a revelation since joining Coburg this season. Here's a big fella, Keogh, inside 50 to the one-on-ones. Bella gets a hand on it. Working through space nicely. Ernst tried to get the outside of the right boot working, but not on that occasion. And Johnston's there to mop up for the Tigers. Kick to a contest up the line. Kennedy will happily run it out.
It was well done there from Sturgis, coming off his opponent, just forcing a stoppage inside their territory there for Coburg.
So I mentioned Coburg got the big win 2 weeks ago. They lost to Frankston by 17 points last Friday night. For the Tigers, it was a 20-point win against Casey all the way back on April 24.
Yeah, a bit of Wednesday Arvo footy.
Yeah, feels like a lifetime ago now, but what is it, about 10 days as we're in the congestion still. It's fed out towards Dintinisante. Kicked 4 goals in that loss to Frankston. Puts it to the hot spot, but Street is there to mop up.
Yeah, Street is averaging nearly 23 disposals this year and doing a fantastic job. And Richmond are going to turn this one over. Taking the mark here is Reece Galvin. It's a low ball. Don't think that's exactly where he intended. El Noir was a little fumbly, just coming off the knee now. Now it's a one-on-one between El Noir and Ernst. El Noir did well, finding his teammate there in Smith. They'll work it out through hand. Couldn't quite get it over the top there to Brindley. Crashing the pack here in the end. Brindley does get the hack kick out. Coburg's got the numbers here. Should be able to work it out and do so. Sturgis just chipping that one over the top here to McKenzie. He's going to play on and send them deep inside the forward line. The Flyers leap, gets brought to ground. Dinto Sante are in and around it. First at it, though, was Balla. Over the top, the Tigers go. Garner with a nice handball, and Richmond could have some space coming out of the middle here. Davidson, they were looking for. But in the end, Coburg get the interception, and Sturgis in the same spot he had a kick not too long ago.
Dintinisante on the lead has been active early. Kick and a half from goal, smothered by Wilson. Caught unawares there, Dintinisante. And Richmond can go on the fast break. Kick over the top from McAuliffe. Gets to Alden, now Davidson. Calling for it deep is Kazitsky. Goes in that direction now. It sets up well for him. He crushed the pack, had a couple of lines to contend with though. And, well, the Coburg defence don't quite have it under control just yet. There's Collier on debut. Garner, new to the club this year, swings around onto the left and makes it the first 2 of the day for the Tigers. The pressure terrific, and it forces the turnover, which was punished.
Yeah, that all started with that spoil after Into Sante's kick there. Richmond catching the Coburg defenders off guard, and fellow Coburg, after the first Richmond goal, started to own a bit of territory, and they've just lost all of that momentum there as Richmond gets their second straight.
It's sort of been the story of the last year and a half for Coburg. They're competitive and they do a lot right, but it's just that last kick inside 50 or that last spot where they don't want to make an error, where they do end up making the error, and it causes them to fall behind and lose games. But they're certainly a competitive side, and with only 8 AFL-listed Tigers out there today, they'll give themselves more than a fair chance of having a real crack at this.
They certainly will. There's a nice crowd as well here at Piranha Park. Pretty good conditions for football, not much wind. It's a lovely day as Ryan wins a tap down straight to Cooper Keogh. He's going to take the advantage. Coburg will go inside forward 50. Just brought to ground there. Harris for Richmond. Finding a target on the outer side here in Matthew Coulthard. Chip kick there to McCarthy. Coburg's winning the inside forward 50, 7-3. They just haven't been able to do anything with it, as they'll use this on the outer wing. It's a big pack of players. Cooper Keogh thumping that one to the grass. Ball hits the deck. Eventually the boundary line beats them all. It'll be thrown in at the right half forward line here for Richmond. Round 6 of the Smithies VFL. The Tigers with the first 2 goals of this one, Kazitsky and then Garner with a lovely running goal. Ryan winning the tap down. First at it was Kennedy. Worked it out nicely. It's a dangerous ball. Good spoil from behind. And a lovely pick up off the deck there from McCarthy. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Donovan Tui already up to 6 disposals. He's been terrific since joining from Fitzroy in the off-season, averaging 24.5 per game, and had over 30 in the win against Collingwood 2 weeks ago. They've been able to unearth a few really talented players at this level, Coburg, as Collier marks on the lead. Inside 50, looking for and finding Ryan. It's going to be a difficult kick, though, for Big Samson. Taken at pick 40 in the 2020 AFL draft was Samson Ryan. Was actually a member of the Brisbane Academy, but Richmond were able to pluck him from right under their noses. And he's been developing nicely at this level over the last couple of years. Has started to show flashes in the AFL when given the opportunity. This is across the face, Kazitsky! Big pack mark on the goal line.
Kazitsky's looking ominous today. So is Richmond whenever they're going inside forward 50. It's a fantastic mark.
And he's going to run around the corner on the right here, as you'd expect. And he's missed it narrow. Ooh.
Good start from Collier as well from Richmond, who's making his debut today. He set up that kick to Samson Ryan. He's had 3 early disposals. He's coming out of the back line are the Burgers. Beasley to Trudgeon at full stretch, takes a nice mark. This will be his 4th disposal. Thought about giving it past to Walker. Instead, he uses Henry Brown. Henry Brown, of course, from the Oakley Chargers. Directing traffic here. A lot of Richmond Guernseys in and around it. Going back with the flight. Taking a big hit there was Kazitsky. We've still got a player down on the grass. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. Just got the handball away in the nick of time. And Richmond quite quickly go inside forward 50. An opportunity for them to run onto an open goal. And the soccer off the grass from Cumberland. Would like to have that one back. And Coburg, well, kick this one out, although it's been intercepted. That's going to be Archie May just taking the mark there. A poor kick coming out of defence. And a set shot opportunity here for the Tigers. Big rise for Archie May in 2023 after some school football for Brighton Grammar. And he got picked up from the Tigers. He's kicked 5 goals, 2 for the season. It's a tough spot to kick from. As Archie May lines up for Richmond's 3rd goal. The kick comes in. This might not have the journey. And in the end, it will be thumped through for a minor score. And Coburg will kick this one out.
15-point game halfway through the opening term. It's been reasonably even in the contest, but Coburg just haven't been able to make it count when they have gone forward. And Richmond have punished a few mistakes as well. This is Gillard. Not a lot of movement up ahead. So he just sends it high and hopes for something from Ernst. Fisted away by Street. Handball wayward. And it will be thrown in.
Coburg plus 10 disposals, plus 2 inside forward 50s. plus 12 marks. A lot of those stats, Michael, you'd think they'd have a couple more goals on the board by now.
Yeah, they're doing a lot right, but just making a couple of crucial errors as Kaczynski now taking a turn in the ruck. McCarthy pushed off it by Gentile. Quick hands were terrific. Bromell can send them inside 50, but over the head of Giacomo Thomas. And the mark is taken for Richmond by Guiney. He quickly sends it across to Coulthard, but he's turned it over. Kennedy now. Can he create something for Coburg? Dropping into the hole is Bella.
Strong.
And he's able to hang on with those vice-like hands.
Yeah, that was really strong in the air there from Bella.
So they'll get a chance, the Burgers, to register their first major. Will Bella. Radar's been a little bit off in recent weeks. Kicked 2 goals straight in round 1, but since then, 0 goals, 5. This one will do his confidence a world of good if he can put it through, and he does just that. The Lions get there first.
Yeah, you can see the players getting around him there. I think they also knew that one needed to go through for his confidence and also for the team, just to get one back here. As we said, Michael, you know, they've played well around the contest, doing a lot of things right, and finally get a bit of reward on the scoreboard.
Absolutely, and getting that win against Collingwood 2 weeks ago, just be validation for Jamie Cassidy-McNamara and the program he's trying to establish here. Of course, winless last year. They did come close on a handful of occasions, though, just couldn't quite get over the line. And a couple of competitive performances early on this season. They get that win. Disappointing effort perhaps last week, but Frankston a difficult place to play. But they've got a chance here against the Richmond side depleted by injury.
It'll be Sam Grant moving into the ruck here for Coburg. Samson Ryan still on the duties. Evenly one down tap, just dispossessed there. Umpire says it's going to be holding the ball, going the way of Richmond. Lachlan Wilson, his first year for the Tigers. It's a booming ball there. Mark's been paid. It was a nice one in the end, taken from Sam Davidson. Good spoil there from Galvin. Right on the 50-metre line here for the Tigers. He just gave that one straight to Richmond. They're able to get it back here, Coburg. One-on-one contest, Caleb Ernst. Now he's got 3 to beat here. He's done quite well, although did even better there was Lachlan Street there. It's a weighted ball over the top, and Coburg should be able to take it nicely. Gentile here, using through hand. Should be able to take this. Balla again, strong hands. We've seen that twice now. He's got an open goal square. You can hear the coaching team on the interchange there, Michael, just saying, go back and take the shot. He's already got the first one here for Coburg. This would be for his second inside a couple minutes. About a 55-metre kick. 45-degree angle here for Will Balla. Already got the first of the day here for Coburg, looking for his second as the kick comes in. Looks like it's got the accuracy and the journey. Will Balla gets his second. The crowd are up at Piranha Park. A fantastic goal.
And an interesting conversation I heard on the Coburg bench right in front of us, Austin. As Balla was lining up to take that shot, it was clearly his turn in the rotation, and Cooper Keogh actually said to one of the coaches, do you want to leave him out there? He's on a heater. And so great awareness, firstly, from Keogh to actually notice that and say, no, we should keep him out there because he's strung together a couple of really good minutes, and good work from the coaches and sports science people and all those as well to say, actually, yeah, good idea. He's kicked our only 2 goals of the game. Let's leave him out there and take someone else off. So very interesting to hear on the Coburg bench, and we're, of course, very lucky to be just behind it here at Piranha Park. Fantastic venue for Smithy's VFL footy.
Fans always come out.
Absolutely. As we're back in the middle, and there is Keogh against Ryan. They've evened things up on the scoreboard, have the Lions. Trudgeon wrapped up on that occasion, coming off a 28 disposal, 14 tackle game last week. He's been a terrific pickup as well, this time dragged to the turf. Still able to shovel the handball out. Keogh fancied his chances to take them on. Now Kennedy, high inside 50. Bella at the back. Just got a hand to it. Can the Smalls go to work? Tinasante does just that. Or is it Gillard? It's Gillard. 3 in a row for Coburg.
Coburg got all the momentum now. Gillard just out the back nicely. They've got 3 quite quickly here, Michael. It's a fantastic turnaround after Richmond got the first 2.
Yep, as we tick into time on, Coburg take the lead for the first time today. And this crowd at Piranha Park can sense that their local side are just starting to pick up some confidence after a lean 18 months.
I mean, even last year when they were losing, they weren't getting blown out in a lot of those games. Like you mentioned before, they were in a lot of them at three-quarter time. It feels like this year, been able to fix a few things up. We'll take it back to the middle now. Coburg with the last 3 goals in this one. They've got the momentum. Crunching tackle there. Luke Bailey involved there for Coburg. Donovan Tui leading the way with 8 disposals. Max Kennedy with 7 and Joel Trudgeon with 6. Lachlan Street with the most for Richmond. Luke Bailey couldn't get the handball he was after. Bromell turns that one over to the debutant in Collier, who started this game quite well. Goes over the top to Green. It wasn't a great handball. Little grubber across the grass. McAuliffe to pick it up, coming back into this side today. Big tackle there. Richmond through McCarthy. Go inside forward 50. Kazixi crashes the pack. Got absolutely crunched there.
Yeah, that was Walker who took the contact, and that's what he does really well. He drifts across, playing as that sort of loose defender inside defensive 50. Usually good at taking intercept marks, but can also get the spoiling too.
He'll be thrown back into play here. Inside Richmond's forward 50. Keogh doing the ruck work. Nice tackle there. Couldn't quite get rid of the football. We'll have a stoppage 30 metres out, directly in front of the Richmond's goal.
So the Tigers under the pump at the moment. They've got it where they want it, but Coburg winning all the contests at the moment, and they get this clearance, or do they? Hands free from Cariliano, good enough. Ernst almost took the mark despite copping a push in the direction of Grant, who gets it and goes. He's got Bella one-on-one ahead of him, running back towards goal. Now he's in trouble. Street, terrific.
You're not getting past Street.
This man is a seriously good footballer, but the kick not so good this time. McKenzie did really well. Bella's sidestep. Grant looking for McKenzie in the pocket, but just didn't realise McCarthy was there. And now the Tigers will try and effect the switch.
Certainly will. Caleb Smith there. Good spoil coming in from Carigliano. Captain of this side. Played his 100th game this year. He's just personifies Coburg football, does Carigliano. 23 minutes into this first term. He's thrown back in. Keogh and Ryan battling it out. Keogh's had a few clearances and he'll just barrel that one inside forward 50. Sam Grant brought it to ground. Richmond just running out of space there. And a good result for Coburg. Will get a boundary throw in inside their left forward pocket here at Piranha Park for round 6 of Smithy's VFL. Richmond with the first 2 goals. Coburg answered with the next 3 as it's thrown back in here. No ruck really getting a hand on it, but there at the deck was Bromell. He doesn't get a score. It'll be out of bounds on the full. And Street just with a little chip kick here for the Tigers. Just playing it safe at the moment. Coburg setting up well. The umpires just found a free kick here.
I think he ran out of bounds, perhaps.
So it looks like it'll be a boundary throw in for Coburg.
Well, and the Lions get a break. It's Richmond making those little mistakes now. Can the Lions punish them going the other way? They've got a good chance to do so here. Keogh v. Kazitsky in the ruck. The former got the first hand to it. Still has the ball. Turns it over by hand, and Smith will clear the danger for Richmond. Long up the line. Caught in a one-on-one there was May. Did well to get it to ground. Carigliano in no rush to keep that in. They've made a good start, the Coburg midfield. Tui, 9 disposals. Kennedy and Trudgeon each with 7 for the Tigers. Lockie Street has been terrific. He's got the 6 touches Kane McAuliffe has 4 with 3 tackles. And Caleb Smith also has 4 of his own from the restart. Gentile just worried out of it. Keogh hands it off inside to Kennedy. Haven't cleared the congestion yet, but Bailey will. Good step through traffic. Into the corridor they go. McKenzie under immediate heat. And Davidson's done really well. Forces the ball to spill free. And Tui not going anywhere this time. So we'll throw it up, middle of the ground. The Tigers come into today 3 wins, 1 loss. The opposite win-loss record for Coburg, 1-3.
Nearly a dangerous tackle there.
Yeah, very close, but
I think it was a good call in the end.
Did just well enough according to the umpire. So throw this one up. Kazitsky and Keogh again. Not sure what Keogh was trying to do there, but it was semi-effective. Green's handball missed the target, and now swooping through here is Tui. Drives it long, over the head of Grant. Ernst is a good athlete if he can keep this in. Decides not to with Street hot on his hammer.
So some repeat entries here for Coburg. They're plus 30 on disposals, winning the inside forward 50 count, 13-6. So they'd love to nab another one here before the quarter-time break, as we've just hit the 26-minute mark here at Piranha Park. Thrown back into play. Kazitsky doing the ruck work here to get the first goal of this game. Through hand they go to Inter Sante. Just had his kick spoiled there. Falls back here for Coburg. Was dispossessed in the end. Fell nicely there to Cooper Keogh. And it's going to be another out of bounds on the full. We've seen a few in that pocket for Coburg already. And Richmond just weathering the storm here a touch. Under a lot of pressure. And Caleb Smith here. He's just going to roost that one as far as he can get it. Brought to ground. He's roved well here. One-on-one contest. Cavalry arrives. Samson Ryan just giving away the free kick there. Just releasing that pressure. Will be Charlie Beasley of Coburg, the recipient. He points to where he kicked to down the line. Keogh's there. Ernst! Huge grab. Oh, apologies. That was Sam Grant. Apologies there. And inside they go. Will Balla. Taking the mark here for Coburg. And he'll have the kick pretty much straight in front. An opportunity on the cusp of quarter time here. Will Balla's already got 2 straight in this one, looking for his 3rd. Directly in front of goal here at Piranha Park, and he's just missed to the right. Opportunity gone begging there. And apologies, that was Sam Grant who took that absolute hanger there for Coburg.
Yep, fantastic grab. 204 centimetre, clearly a wiry sort of athlete. And he's one the Burgers will look to develop as Street sends it back into play. Well, McCarthy and Olden could argue over it, but McCarthy ended up with it. Beautiful kick to find the running Brindley. He's got one-on-ones forward of the ball. Sends it inside 50. May there, but well done, Beasley. In fact, it was Kazitsky who was one-on-one with the smaller opponent in Beasley, but he did really well despite giving up some size. And Richmond have worked it inside their forward 50 just like that from the behind. Maybe they can pinch a late one before the first break. Olden tracking this one to the boundary line. Lets it go. Approaching 30 minutes gone now in quarter number 1. Donovan Tui up to 11 touches for the Burgers. Kennedy 9. Keogh and Trudgeon with 7. Lockie Street has 7 for Richmond. Tom McCarthy and Caleb Smith each with 5 are next up. Here's Bailey under pressure from Cumberland. Dangerous kick.
Strong.
That is a strong mark. Is it paid? And it is in the end. Late whistle.
Yes.
But it's taken by Dintinasante. That's another dangerous ball. They're playing with fire here, the Lions. They're having to defend really strongly, and, well, they did well there, forced what the crowd thought was a free kick, but it doesn't matter in the end because at quarter time, they take a 4-point lead into the break, 3-1-19 to 2-3-15. Will Bella has minutes today, of course, playing his first game this season for a few weeks after an ankle injury.
So the second quarter underway here at Piranha Park. Coburg getting the first clearance here. Bromell, grubby old ball inside. Had a couple to beat there. Did Bella. El Noir through hands. It's a high up and under ball. Might just go out of bounds on the full, and it will. Be Coburg to bring this one back in. It's an early opportunity here. Be Braden Gillard to take the kick here. Probably just outside his wheelhouse as far as scoring's concerned. So he'll just send that one to the top of the square here. Let them fly. Bella tried to bring it to ground. Handball over the top to Al Noir. Bit fumbly there. Just got it in the nick of time. They've worked it out nicely here through Smith. One-on-one contest. Cal Parkers couldn't quite on debut. And taking the mark here is Archie May. May had a shot in the first quarter. Couldn't quite get it. Great bit of body work there. Cumberland was just too strong in the end. Over the top of it. Nice little snap there and strong hands there for Kazitsky, who can line up for his third goal here for Richmond.
Yeah, clever there from Cumberland. Knew he had to get it moving quickly because Kazitsky was in some space which was about to get closed down. So just knew he had to get it there by any means possible, and he did just that.
So Kazitsky's got 1 goal, 1 thus far. Coming off 4 goals last week against Casey. It's going to be a tough shot right in the pocket here of Piranha Park in front of the faithful supporters. The kick comes in. Looks like it's coming back enough. Kazitsky with a brilliant shot. Gets his second and the first of the second term going the way of the Tigers. And a bit of a nerve settler there after Coburg carried all the momentum into that quarter.
Just a fantastic finish. They are not easy to kick from that pocket. I've seen a lot of players have pot shots over the years, and they are not easy at all. But Jacob Kazitsky did a fantastic job. It's up to 2 goals, 1 already on the day. And Noah Cumberland, didn't see a lot of him in that opening term. Had 11 disposals and a goal a week ago, but he's just so clever when he gets the ball, even within 70 metres of goal. He's a booming left foot kick and can have a ping from upwards of 60 metres, but just very clever. Even if he's not having the shot, he's able to find a teammate in space. He's one of the 8 AFL listed Tigers out there today. McAuliffe, another one, will get the clearance. It's high up and under. Kazitsky arrives late, still impacts the contest. Steely Green did well on the ground, but the Coburg defence doing well, but they just mucked around with it a little bit too much. Another chance for McAuliffe. Good tackle, and it will be rewarded with Grant. In fact, Roland it was, laying the tackle. And he'll get Coburg out of danger. Tom Rowland, another one who's new to the club this year, came from Old Trinity, of course, which is where Jamie Cassidy-McNamara was coaching before he came to Coburg a year ago. Fisted away from Ryan. Solid bump from Green on Gentile, but he bounces right back up. Here's Grant. Can't hang on. And the Tigers will sweep up through El Noor. Not his best effort, though, by foot. Cut off by Gillard. They've got numbers forward if they go. McKenzie's a long kick. Ernst screaming for it at the top of the square, but they've manned him up now, the Tigers. They're going to have to do it the hard way, Coburg, and El Noor forces that ball over the boundary line. 2-point game in the early going. If you just joined us, first 2 goals of the game went to Richmond, the next 3 to Coburg, and then the first of this second term going to Jacob Kazitsky, who's got 2 goals alongside Will Bella for Coburg. They're our only multiple goal kickers so far on the day. Wilson feeds McAuliffe. Up the line, over the head of Kazitsky. Doing well to sweep up is Kalpakis. He's been in terrific form at South Marangi's local club. Rigoni able to get the handball away. Kalpakis again. Looking corridor. He's going to take it on, and it's an ugly-looking corridor ball, which is cut off by Street.
Yeah, the disposal efficiency certainly lacking for Coburg so far. Non-cue there, same for Richmond. Handball over the top. Just got the kick away. Just ping-ponging between the two and taking a nice run. There was Brindley. Trying to go over the top here to Green. Just got the kick away. A booming ball inside, and Kazitsky just couldn't quite hold on. That was an absolute piercing kick. Kazitsky was falling to ground, couldn't quite hold on. Not a bad result for Richmond. They'll get a boundary throw in their right forward pocket. Right in front of the Coburg faithful here at Piranha Park. May doing the ruck work here for Richmond. Handball out there, works out nicely, and from the pocket, Wilson with an absolute beautiful goal. He somehow just got that kick away. Wilson with an absolute beauty. And Tigers get the first two of this second term.
Lockie Wilson, his first goal as a Tiger, actually started his career at the Richmond Footy Club this year. Made his debut back in round 1 out of the Heidelberg Footy Club, 23 years old, and he's averaged about 20 touches a game in the early going and 5 tackles as well. So Steve Morris has decided to keep him in the side, and why wouldn't you? And clearly he's capable of going forward and making an impact on the scoreboard as well.
And similar to last week, Michael, we saw Richmond every quarter against Casey. They got the hot start. They got about the first sort of 2 to 4 goals of every quarter. We're seeing the same throughout the first quarter and a half of this one, so Coburg need to be wary of that.
Yep, first 2 in the first quarter, first 2 now in the second. Jacob Kazitsky's got 2. Garner and Wilson the others. Trying to burst through the traffic, McCarthy, but he's gang tackled. 8-point game. The Burgers led it by 4 at the first change. Keogh and Ryan has been a fascinating ruck duel. Bramel's kick smothered. McCarthy tries to slap it forward. Good work, though, mopping up Coburg, although that's an interesting ball from Tui. But it is marked, and they'll go on with it, but dangerous kick. Coulthard, the mid-season draftee from last year, just drives it long, top of the square. Well done. Dropping back, this time Sturgis. Now Bailey will get another go at it. No, that's Roland. To Gillard. Kicked a Crummer's goal in the opening term. Roland again. Content to play it slow at the moment. Trudgeon. Spent a year at Box Hill. Didn't get much game time, so came across to a standalone and has found great success. As the Tigers clear, Davidson with the fly. Ball now on the ground. Gillard, a tough customer. And it's tough to break his tackles.
The Tigers getting the first 2 of the second term, taking the lead back. Umpire finding a free kick here to Cooper Keogh. Cooper Keogh was massive last week. 38 hit-outs, 11 clearances, 24 disposals. It's a funny old kick, but it works out in the end as Trudgeon takes the mark here. 55 from home. He's got Ernst running into the pocket, goes over the top here, just falls out nicely, was dispossessed. Maybe taken a little bit high there, and was. The Richmond free kick there. Moving it on quickly was Harris. Nice ball out there to Kazitsky. Thump behind though from Beasley. One out here from Dinto Sante. Well done. Coburg linking up through hand. Just shrugging off the tackle nicely there. Trudgeon with the chip kick in. It's turned over once again. It's really been letting them down so far. Although Richmond's done the exact same thing as Crigliano. Had a paddock in front of him. Gets the interception here. Was thinking about going to the pocket. Ernst has got 2 to beat. Nearly takes a one-hander, but he was holding on to his opponent in Al Noir. And that's 2 free kicks from their last 2 entries that Coburg's given away. Richmond worked out in the end to Green. Goes high over the top there to Johnson. It was a well-weighted ball. Grigliano came in with the spoil. Just stays in ever so slightly for Richmond. Great tackle. Should be holding the ball and is so. Coburg's pressure's just lifted here in the last few minutes. It'll be Donovan Tui going for disposal number 13 inside a quarter and 10 minutes. And in they go. Al Noir was nice in the air. He's been important for Richmond in the past few inside forward 50 entries here. Well-weighted ball, just couldn't hold on to the mark though was Davidson, and now the Tigers have got a bit of space. Kazicki inside, they've got a player, should be able to run into an open goal, although the umpire's found a free kick. Advantage play on, and Cumberland.
That'll be 50 as well for the play on.
It wasn't advantage, it was a Coburg free kick. And as you said, Michael, Coburg will get the 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, Cumberland just got a little bit excited there. Rush of blood running into the open goal. Galvin's going to be brought to just short of the centre circles. Not a lot of movement up ahead, although he's got a man all on his own inside 50 at Bella. Bella's still not manned up. They'd be well served to go quickly here, the Burgers, but Roland too far away to get it to him. Beasley now hits up the lead from Bailey, who goes immediately. He wants to get it moving quickly, and he does with great success to Dintinisante, despite not meaning it. And now he's going to be brought to the top of the square. 50-metre penalties killing Richmond in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, they basically just let Coburg waltz into an open goal here.
So he kicked the 4 goals won last week, Dintinisante. He's been a major threat in front of goal for the Lions. He'll pop it through, and the Burgers have their first of the second.
Yeah, nice little settler there for Coburg. As you said, Richmond got the first 2 of that quarter, taking the lead back, and Richmond giving away 100 metres really from an open goal to the other end, and Coburg able to reap the rewards there, and it's back to a 2-point ball game.
Just when it looks like the Tigers might open up a little bit of a buffer, the Burgers bring them back.
Back in the middle now. It's been a fantastic game and good bounce. Keogh winning the tap down. Got his own ruck work as well. Through hand they go. Gentili looking for Ernst. Just got a little bit of space, but a good spoil from behind from Brindley. Got a lot of meterage on that spoil. Coburg, beautiful linking up through hand. Can just run in from the pocket here for 2 in a row and just misses to the right. That would have brought the house down if he was able to get that one through, but unfortunately for Coburg, just the minor score.
Here's Brindley. Street works hard to make a lead for him. He goes further afield. May and Kalpakis one-on-one. The Rucks join in as well. Trudging at the back. Dangerous ball. Cumberland thought about going. Instead, uses that weapon of a left boot. Davidson tried to keep it alive. George is there as well. Now he gets involved. Heavy collision on the ground, and he might have dragged that in, George.
Yep.
The crowd loves it. Their team is performing well. Kalpakis, Cariliano. And the Burgers content to play it slow through Walker on the last line of defence. Outnumber situation here. Sturgis flew. El Noor on the ground. Misses the mark by hand. Chance for McCarthy. Oh. Handball terrific. Garner floats it towards goal, and it's got enough, but it's wide.
Would have been a fantastic team goal there. The Tui. Oh, out of defence. Terrible kick. Not sure why he played on there. Al Noir, he'll turn around and snap that one towards goal. How will it bounce? Fortuitously for Coburg, and just slapping that one over the line was Walker for another minor score here. Just hugging the boundary line. Grigliano able to keep it in here. He's got Bella in a one-on-one contest. You could hear the coaches yelling out, that's where you should kick it to, as Bella will fly it. Just seeing that one over the line for a boundary throw-in. 15 minutes elapsed here in the second term, so we're about halfway through. It's only a 3-point ball game.
I think if you're Coburg, you like that Bella v Brindley matchup. They're similar height, but Bella's just got a bit more bulk on him.
Certainly does. So Grant took that flyer in the first to Brumell, back from suspension. Just outbodied his opponent was Brown. Thought about keeping it back in, but eventually happy to see it over. Joel Trudgeon now leading all ball getters on the ground with 14 disposals. He's going along with 5 marks, so putting together a good performance. Donovan Tui with 13, and Lachlan Street from Richmond has got the 10. As McCarthy, the clearing kick. It was well read in the end from May, trying to run onto it, tapping it forward to himself. Just got the handball back there, was trying to find May. Instead, Walker over the top to Crigliano. He's got Diento Sante. As the kick comes in, it was a little bit too much on it, but it works out as Ernst finds him through hand. Just got the kick away. There's a grubber across the grass. Now Luke Bailey running through the middle of the ground. The kick might just work out here for the Burgers. Didn't quite have disposal. The crowd asking for it. Bodies hitting the ground, but no whistles as Richmond eventually do get the clearing kick as George takes the mark here. He's got a player just over the top, but should be able to affect it with the spoil there. Was Beasley. Falling to ground. It's a hot footy at the moment. Eventually seen over. And we'll have a boundary throw in after a pretty chaotic last minute or so.
That was a great chance for Coburg to get a shot at goal at least, going through the corridor, had outnumbered situations as well, but good work from the Tigers defence to get back in numbers and just make life very difficult for them. Paddling it to his advantage, there was Garner. McAuliffe swings it inside 50. Davidson the flyer hasn't been able to hang on. That Coburg midfield really going to work. Trudgeon 14 disposals, Tui 13, Bailey, Brumell and Rowland each with 10. For the Tigers, Elnor and Street have 10 apiece, as Ryan's going to get a free kick in the ruck.
Yeah, Samson Ryan's been good today at getting free kicks awarded to him. That's his third now that he's gotten. The quality player.
Yeah, it has been a fascinating battle in the ruck. Cooper Keogh, a fantastic state league level ruckman. Samson Ryan, as we know, a developing giant on the AFL list for Richmond. He's going to have the shot at goal here. He's directly in front. He's kicked 9 goals, 2 for the season, and kicked at least 1 goal in every game. And there's his goal for today. So Samson Ryan brings up double digits now on the season. He's got 10 goals, 2. He takes his set shots really well for a ruckman-type player.
Certainly does. Just how quickly things can change. Coburg had a golden opportunity to score, and Richmond transition it nicely, get the free kick, get the goal back, and just push that lead back out to 9 points as we near time on here in the second quarter. Fantastic crowd in today, as always, making plenty of noise. This will be Keogh going up against Ryan once again. Cooper Keogh with the 12 hit out, Samson Ryan with the 11, so it's been a good battle. Ryan wins that one. Garnett affected the possession as well, and Richmond should get the clearance once again. Just got the handball was McAuliffe. There to clean it up was Trudgeon. Found Tui. There at the right time was McKenzie. To half forward they go. Sam Grant was the target. Dinto Sante read the spoil nicely. Just thumps him back inside forward 50. And the one-handed mark taken from Thomas. He read that quite well. Just a little volleyball tap back to himself and an opportunity for Coburg to get the instant reply here, although it will be a tough shot. About a 45-metre kick. Pretty close into the boundary line here at Piranha Park. So we've just hit time on here in the second. This to bring it back to a 3-point ball game as the kick comes in towards goal. It's a beautiful kick. On debut, Giacomo Thomas. One of the best set shots you'll see. The crowd erupts. The players get around him. And what a way to bring up your first goal at VFL level.
Absolutely, and Austin, I am reliably informed that Giacomo Thomas is a fantastic goal kicker. Of course, we see that here on display just now, but coming out of the Essendon Duda Stars Footy Club in the Essendon District Footy League, he made the Team of the Year last year in the Premier Division, and he also kicked a handful of goals last week in a best on ground performance, which led to his debut today. And clearly, although he's been pretty quiet in terms of disposals, he only needs a handful of touches to have an impact. That is a fantastic finish from deep in the pocket.
Yeah, it was only his second disposals. Looks like there might be a...
Yep, 666 warning, it looks like, against Richmond. Taken by Bromell. They've got momentum now, the Lions. Can they capitalise? Taken well, though, by Brindley. Street under pressure. They'll get out of danger, Richmond. They need to respond. Ryan. Oh. That's a good grab. And that'll just calm things down for Richmond. Into time on in this second term. Ryan to no one in particular in the end, and Sturgis the only man there. And now Coburg want to go on the rebound. Kennedy. Defending the ground well here, the Tigers, so they try the other side. Sturgis. They've got some run through the corridor, but well done, Wilson. Intercepted Rigoni's handball. They win it back, Coburg. Walker. Bromell. Through the traffic nicely. Drives it into attack. Grant the target. Gets a hand to it. Tintin Asante will lock it in.
It's a good second effort there with after he gave away the handball. Backed it up with a good tackle there, did Rigoni, and allowed them to continue to stream forward. Samson Ryan was nice out of the ruck there. It's a high ball. It's Coulthard. Made the distance. Just chipping that one there to McAuliffe. To the solid second quarter, although that kick just works out in the end as Lachlan Street taking the mark here. 23 minutes now gone in the second. After that last goal for the debutant. Couldn't hold on to it there was Johnson. Richmond under a lot of pressure here at the moment. Coburg got their tails up. And they create the turnover nicely here. Nice little spin there from Gentile. He's got a player open in Bella. He just too much on the kick, and a golden opportunity gone, begging for the burgers as the Tigers will look to transition this one now. Smith thought about continuing on, but instead just pulls the kick there to Green. It goes over the top nicely here to Brindley. And they've been able to do this quite easily in the end, just copying Wilson a little bit high there. Wilson got that goal in the pocket in the early stages of this second term. He'll just kick that one to the hot spot. And then Ryan from the back just plucked that one out. He didn't have the front positioning on Cooper Keogh, but it didn't matter. And he can line up for his second in this quarter.
Well, that's just too tall in the end because Cooper Keogh, 200 centimetres in his own right, but Big Samson, 206. And as you said, Cooper Keogh had that completely covered, was in the right position, got hands to it, but Ryan just outreached him.
So Samson Ryan, he had the goal about 6 or 7 minutes ago. He's kicked 10-2 for the season as the kick comes in and just misses to the right. a minor score. Richmond leading this one by 4 points. Nearly 25 minutes elapsed here as we edge closer to half-time.
Just wonder about that missed opportunity. Gentile too much on the kick for Bella. Richmond almost went back the other way and punished it with a goal immediately. You just wonder if that might come back to haunt Coburg later on. 4-point game. 5-6 plays 5-2. Only a handful of minutes now from the half. Ryan first hand to it. Trudge in. Goes to ground and was taken high. Just a bit crude from McCarthy. First gamer looking to assert his authority, but just couldn't do it effectively on that occasion. Kennedy from the old Brighton Footy Club. Bella unable to hang on to that one. Gillard, McKenzie under immediate pressure. Happy to hold it in.
Plus 37 on disposals are Coburg. Also winning the inside forward 50 count, plus 12.
Yeah, the leading ball winners on the ground, pretty much all Lions. Coulthard's up and under. Tui couldn't get there in time. Talk about the stat sheet. Tui 16 disposals, Trudgeon 16, Bromell 12, Kennedy 11, Roland 11, Bailey 10. And for the Tigers, Lockie Street has 12, Elnor and McAuliffe, the only others in double digits with 10 each. So they've certainly dominated aspects of this game, the Lions, but they find themselves down by 4 points on the scoreboard. Ryan thumps it forward. Wilson runs onto it. Did he duck the head? No. High contact going to Wilson.
Got to be careful there not to give away dissent.
Yep, kick and a half from goal. The lead comes in the pocket from May, but it's thumped away from him.
There was a good bit of courage there from Trudgeon, just sat under the ball and knew that the impact was coming. Trudgeon's a tough operator and happy to take the hit there as it'll be thrown back into play. Can't be long left in this first half here. Inside Richmond's forward 50. No ruck could really get a hand on it, and that kick's just stayed in, thankfully for the Coburg fans. Richmond were asking for it, but the ball did clearly hit the line there, so good call from the boundary umpires. Love another boundary throw in. Coburg got a couple of extra metres going their way, but not much, as Ryan, too strong in the ruck, just couldn't quite affect the play. Gang Richmond tackle with Cumberland involved. Wrapping up Trudgeon there, right in the paint of 50. Richmond's half forward line. Ryan winning the tap down straight to Trudgeon. He'll kick that one and turn it over straight away. It's Trezise. Haven't seen too much of him so far in this one. There's the Tigers with a few repeat entries here. But the big fella's all down. Almost a big fly, but there at the full of the ball was Cumberland, who couldn't quite get the purchase he was after on the kick. It'll be a 5-point lead for Richmond. 28 minutes now gone here in the second.
Tui. Poke it to Kennedy. 1-on-3 is Gillard, and it's taken by Trezise. He's got Garner standing on his own at 48, and that's where he goes.
Turnovers coming out of defensive 50 for Coburg. It's really why we're seeing Richmond with the ascendancy in this contest.
Yep, Garner was able to punish one of those in the opening term, and he's got a chance to kick his second. Kick from 52. It's not going to be a score, well, not directly anyway. The Coburg defence makes sure it's nothing more than a behind. Richmond peppering. A couple of minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, cannot concede another goal here if you're Coburg. Try to take some seconds off the clock as Galvin is probably going to try hug this boundary line, either get a mark or kill the ball over the line. As Balla flies from the back, couldn't quite. Bailey involved. Ball hits the deck here. Did nicely was Wilson, but wrapped up in a big tackle. Al Noir just snatched the ball out of there. just bumbling around. Luke Bailey just got the handball away. Back to Wilson again. The umpire's called the whistle. Dangerous tackle. Will be going the way of Coburg. So Luke Bailey, who's been solid. This will be his 11th disposal to go along with 3 clearances and 3 tackles. So a strong first half from the 20-year-old in Luke Bailey. Trying to find Balla, who brings it to ground. But that is the halftime siren. It's Tigers 5-8-38 to Coburg 5-2-32 after a good first half there, Michael.
Fascinating contest so far for the Tigers. Kazitsky
with a half to go. Leading ball getters from the first half, Joel Trudgeon and Donovan Tui with 18 disposals for Coburg. There's Keogh a little bit early on the jump there and giving away a free kick in the process to Samson Ryan. Ryan's been able to get a few of those throughout the day. Off to Joel Garner here, who's that wonderful goal in the first quarter. He kicks this one into the pocket. A good spoil there from Sturgis, who's been impressive in that half-back flank position. Some of the team stats in the first half. Coburg winning the disposal count +41. They're winning the inside 50 +9 and the clearances +4. Also +19 on the mark. So a lot of those key stats going the way of Coburg as Keogh's handball was a little bit too much on it, but was kept back in from Sturgis, and that's got to be a throw. The umpire did not see that one as a kick comes into a dangerous spot now for the Tigers to be able to score the first of this second half, but wrapping him up at a nice tackle there. And so the umpire will call for a stoppage there, and not sure how Richmond got away with that one, Michael.
Yeah, just one of those very rare occurrences where we might have had a better view of it than the umpire. And massive bodies in between the umpire and the ball as Cumberland tries the outside of the boots, but misses. So Cumberland has had a couple of moments, but hasn't really been able to put together anything lasting so far today. Brought back into play for Coburg by Tui. Ernst will be the flyer at the back. Had it go through his hands. Trezise is going to play most of this second half, you suspect, after missing most of the first. Street got a handball away. Of course, Richmond managing Trezise's minutes off that ankle injury. Here's Coulthard now. Has the runner alongside in Guiney. Can find a target inside 50 in Cumberland, and he's got it.
Beautiful kick.
Guiney just sauntering on past, was able to weight the ball beautifully for Noah Cumberland. And running around on the left foot, this is right up his alley.
Certainly is. We've seen Richmond get the first 2 goals of each quarter thus far. So they've been the hot starters. Can they do it again here in the second half?
It's been off so far this season. 3 goals, 6 from 4 games coming into today. Goes with the drop punt. And it's well across the face and really just scrapes in for a behind.
Certainly did. A few famous faces around Piranha Park today as well. Michael, seen a few of the Richmond AFL boys. Tom Lynch here. We just saw Dermot Brereton as well. So there's a good buzz around the Coburg Football Club and fantastic atmosphere here this afternoon. Good conditions for footy. Not really any wind. A little overcast, but so Samson Ryan had the fly there. Ernst came in. Providing a good spoil there as the ball just hits the deck here. Right in front of us here on the broadcast wing. Just trying to rip it out, and did so was Bailey, but a big tackle from Street. It could have been a dangerous one, all without disposal in the end. Richmond go inside forward 50, clearing kick. Doesn't quite work out here for Coburg. Just got the handball away here. Back to Garner on the left. But coming in, taking a good mark there, was Tui. Tui's up to 20 disposals now. As he finds his captain in Carigliano. That's a dangerous ball back in towards the middle of the ground. As it hits the deck, Bailey, he was clean on the grass to a one-on-one contest. Grant was strong in the air, nearly got it. Fell to Al Noir, who was taken potentially a little bit high, but the umpire says play on. We'll have a stoppage. 45 out directly in front of the Coburg goal after some risky play through the corridor from Carigliano. Thrown back up, Keogh against Ryan. Keogh wins the tap down. Trudgeon just crunched into the ground there, still trying to rip that ball out of it. In the end, Richmond do. To McAuliffe, the clearing kick now. One-on-one contest. Good spoil from the back from Beasley. There at the fall of it was Olden, taken in a big tackle there. Just got the disposal away. Braden Gillard with the kick in. Will it stay in here for Coburg? It will. It should be a boundary throw in inside the right half forward here for Coburg. 5 minutes nearly played in the third quarter. Richmond leading this one by 8.
Just the 2 behinds for the Tigers so far in this third term. The only change from the halftime score. Coburg have it inside their forward 50 though. Keogh with the strong follow-up tackle on Garner. Trudgeon had one hand held, but might get penalised here for diving on it. Might have been a little bit unlucky there. But it's a free kick going Wilson's way. Short to Smith. Had most of last year ruined by a stress fracture in his foot. Caleb Smith, good to see him getting some continuity in his footy in his second season on the Tigers list. Liam George, the 23rd man. Back to Smith. Pick 49 in the 2022 AFL draft was Caleb Smith as he finds a fellow young AFL lister in McAuliffe. Long ball, Galvin contending at the back. Sturgis sees it over the line. So if you just joined us, Richmond kicked the first 2 goals of both the first and second terms. And Coburg responded well after that to close the gap. McAuliffe inside 50. Sturgis in the way once again. Pokes it short to Galvin. And he's looking to the one-on-one. Tintinisante had it punched away by Guiney. Now Ernst over the top of it.
So no goals through the first 6 minutes of this second half. Richmond have been played with a bit of inaccuracy. As Coburg just trying to rip this one out. We should have a stoppage or two far from the last one. Donovan Tui up to 21 disposals. As Ryan and Keogh doing the ruck work here. Coburg will get the clearance. Bella's got 2 to beat, had 2 attempts at it. Al Noir, his direct opponent, who did very well. He's really coming into his own this season, is Al Noir. Wilson, who's also been strong here for the Tigers. Finds a nice target there. Over the top in Cumberland. And he can go back and try it. At the first of the second half here, Cumberland had that shot earlier in the quarter. This will do his confidence a world of good. As you mentioned, he's been a little quiet today and a bit inaccurate throughout the season, but could be a big opportunity for Noah Cumberland. 3 goals, 7 now on the season. It'll be a tough kick. It'll be about a 52, 53 metre bomb here. Interesting run up here from Cumberland as the kick comes in. He got every bit of it, just not the accuracy. It'll be another minor score here for the Tigers, who really, Michael, feels like they probably could be a couple goals in front at this point after the sort of late first half surge and the start here in the second half.
That's 0-4 now for Cumberland on the day. And as he said, Austin, Coburg feels like just weathering the storm at the moment. Ernst gives away the free. Just struggling to exit their defensive half at the moment. And respite doesn't seem imminent. Trezise long ball to the pack. Ryan through his hands, through the traffic nicely was Collier. Chance for Olden. Cumberland wants his left, gets his left, and misses. That's 0-5 now for Noah on the day. On the bright side, he's almost got himself a goal.
He does. So Coburg been a little bit lucky here with some inaccuracy. He's taking the mark here was Walker. Just trying to find the target there in Brown. Instead it was thumped over.
So that takes Cumberland to 3 goals, 11 for the season now.
So 0-5. He's having a bit of reminiscent of Castagna in the grand final a few years back for Richmond. I think he finished with 0-6 for the day. He's thrown back in. Ryan was very strong. Wilson at the fall of it, and just turning around was Austin Johnson. Pushed out of it. Was very strong there. And here he is once again. He doesn't want to have the shot on goal this time, and he just butchers the kick as well. Coulthard provided a contest. Falls out here towards Collier. Could pick up off the grass, met in a tackle immediately. And it'll be thrown back into play. And Richmond feels like they've just had the ball living down here for the first 10 minutes of this quarter. Still yet to register a goal in the second half. They're 5 goals 12 to Coburg's 5-2. It's been an interesting old game here at Piranha Park for round 6 of the Smithies VFL. Kubikeo unopposed in the ruck, just got the handball away. Couldn't quite find a target though. And through hands, the Tigers go. And just finding the target there, leaving Collier. It's been impressive on debut today for the Tigers. Just sets that one up. Had a nice fly, and he ended up taking it was Cam Olden. That was a fantastic mark. As he was falling to ground, it was a juggling affair, and just sat back nicely into the chest, and surely Richmond can go back and get their first goal of the second half here. Relatively easy shot, pretty much straight in front for Cam Olden. He had the 17 disposals last week. He's had 2 goals in 4 games throughout the season. Make that 3, and Richmond finally get one in the second half after being plagued with inaccuracy. And that'll do their confidence a world of good.
And just really something that can't happen if you're the Coburg backline. Cam Olden stands only 180 centimetres, and for him to be able to fly in from the side and take a mark in a pack situation inside forward 50 is just something that you cannot allow from a Coburg perspective, and Jamie Cassidy-McNamara will be tearing his hair out at that. And the result is his side now down by 16 points, the biggest margin for either side today. So the Lions need to get to work as we approach the halfway mark of the third.
Starting to climb back on some of these statistics as well. Only minus 14 on disposals after previously being down minus 32. So Richmond really starting to get on top here.
And for Coburg, it starts at this centre bounce. Keogh with the advantage over Kaczynski, but the latter did well to use his body. McKenzie comes up to meet it aggressively. Keogh's just going to bang it inside 50. It's a wobbly old thing. Ernst couldn't quite take the mark. It was a difficult one with the ball moving the way it was. And the Richmond defence is going to mop up. Murtazel Noor's down behind the play. Hope he's okay. He looks all right. No trainers have come out to meet him just yet. And one is heading out now. So he's still on his haunches. We'll keep an eye on that. But for the moment, play goes on with Street.
It's his left shoulder there, Al Noir, that he's just sort of holding on to.
Mid-season draft only a few weeks away. You'd hate for someone to miss out because of an injury sustained in the month or so leading up to that draft. Murtazel Noor is one who's been looked at over the last couple of years. Hasn't found his way onto a list yet, but you get the feeling it may not be too far away for him if he can keep stringing together good footy.
He's been impressive today, and he's hard to beat in a one-on-one.
Yeah, and he's not the tallest and he's not the most well-built, but as he said, he is difficult to beat, even for guys who are bigger than him. Inside 50, off the boot of McAuliffe. Reading it beautifully at the back is May. Had Kalpakis right where he wanted him. And now he's got a chance to kick the second goal of the third term for Richmond.
Just a lovely entry there from McAuliffe. It was his 16th disposal and an absolute beauty.
Yeah, he's a big-bodied player, McAuliffe. He set up this opportunity for May, who threads the needle. Richmond out to a 22-point lead.
And just like that, Michael, Richmond are really starting to put the burners on, and Coburg need a response here.
Yep, danger signs now for Coburg. They were so competitive. It was such an evenly matched first half. Of course, the Burgers might have missed a couple of opportunities you'd expect them to convert, but otherwise a very even first half. But now Richmond have kicked 2 goals for to no score so far in this third.
We'll take it back to the middle of Piranha Park here. Saturday afternoon, Smithies VFL action here live on the AFL website and the AFL Live app. We've seen Sam Grant come into the ruck and Getting a few cheers from the interchange as well. We'll have a stoppage not too far out from the centre circle. Richmond will get the clearance, although met in a tackle. Didn't get that handball away, did McAuliffe. He'll be pinged for holding the ball. And we'll come back here to Mackenzie. With a lovely kick inside. It was just too much on it there, and Ernst crashed the pack. Richmond got the numbers at the back of the pack here, and they'll work it out. Brindley just drawing the player in. Just enough on the handball to find Coulthard. And McAuliffe, who's starting to really heat up in this game for the Tigers. That's surely not 15 metres, and it won't be. Just lost his footing there. Hot footy at the moment. Mackenzie comes crashing in. Got the handball out the back. Rowland with a bit of work to do. Luke Bailey now was swung around and somehow found a target in Bromell nicely. Swooping handball over the top now to Brown. Linking up through hand are the Burgers. Mackenzie was nearly taken high, but it was a good tackle from Brindley. And the umpire crosses his arm for a stoppage. And Mackenzie just getting up a little bit sluggish after that contest. He's been involved in a few crashing ones today. That'll be thrown back up. Samson Ryan just running in at the last second. Luke Bailey just shrugged him off nicely there and snaps it around on the left. Will Bella has a fly and eventually takes a chest mark there. Bella, he didn't time the mark, but he was strong once again, was Bella. He had 2 goals in the first quarter, and this for a nerve settler here for Coburg.
Yeah, he's been impressive today, Bella. You just think if they can maybe isolate him inside 50 on a few occasions, he might just be able to take a couple of marks and kick a couple more goals, because he's proving a handful today.
He certainly is. He's got 2 goals, 1 does Will Bella, coming out of the Gold Coast Suns Academy from 50 metres out. This will bring the house down. Oh, Will Bella, take a bow. Fantastic set shot. The players get around him, and a good response from Coburg.
Well, I'll tell you something, Austin. Bella means beautiful in Italian, and that kick was beautiful because he just started it left and used the natural arc beautifully to come back and through the big sticks. And they desperately needed that one, Coburg. Bella's got 3 for the day. Only had 2 coming into today's game for the season. But as you mentioned, out of the Gold Coast Academy, played a couple of games for the Suns VFL side while he was part of that academy. He has moved down to Melbourne since, and he's been with Coburg for a couple of years now.
Probably good to have that 4th goal as well. If you remember the second quarter, Coburg missed a golden opportunity to Bella. So it's going to be heating up here in the latter stages of this third quarter.
Can they get another clearance, Coburg, and make things interesting? Not this time. McCarthy's kick finds his fellow debutant in Collier. Spots up Cumberland, who's been active. Can't get on the end of this one. Gillard sweeps, needs to be quick. Not quick enough. And it's going to be a Richmond shot at goal. Coulthard, it looks like, who ran him down.
It was a good call from the ump. Although it looks like he got the handball away, it was one of those ones where the players sort of just acted out as if it was a handball. I think when you watch that one live, it might have looked a bit stiff, but the umpire was in perfect positioning there.
The 4th pick in last year's mid-season draft from Glenelg and Port Noarlunga in South Australia. He's played 4 AFL games already. And he'll play another one if he kicks them like that all day. Richmond get the response.
That just went straight through the middle. That was perfect. We've seen some lovely set shot kicking today amongst some inaccuracy.
That we have, and that makes it a 22-point game once again. That's the biggest margin of the game for either side. The margin has stayed under double digits for the majority of the day. Richmond just kicking away slightly in this third. Still plenty of time in the quarter for Coburg.
There's a good response from Richmond after Will Bella's set shot. He's backed up down the other end with Coulthard with one of his own. Almost mirror image spot. There's a bounce. Umpire lets it go. It worked out nicely for Wilson, and Richmond will go back inside. Good courage and a nice mark taken from Reece Galvin. He's looking to go in the Brown and Grant direction. It's too strong, though, was Brindley. He's had a good third quarter. Moves it off quickly to Streets. Kick over the top. Just had enough on it for Coulthard, who reels it in with one hand. As we're nearing time on here. Coulthard, the last goal scorer. Goes long in towards half forward, and Galvin once again with a lovely contested grab there for Coburg. He's got Gillard over the top and uses him. Had to sit under it for quite a while. It's always dangerous. It's Collier coming in, and he's been very physical. Has Nicholas Collier on debut. I've liked what I've seen from him. We'll have a stoppage in favour of Richmond's territory here. Lingering around that half-forward line. Samson Ryan feels like he's starting to get on top of this ruck contest. Smith was trying to paddle that one forward to himself. Gillard on the deck. Yeah, the umpires called that a throw. Wasn't much in it, but the umpire was in the perfect spot there. And Cumberland over the top into the forward line. Couldn't quite find a target. Wrapping him up at a good tackle was Rigoni. We'll have a stoppage inside Richmond's forward 50.
22 points the margin. Just feel like Richmond are a goal or two away from breaking this thing open. Keogh's going to get the free. Get up, Sid! Get up! Goes short. Sturgis to Galvin. He's had a good 5 or so minutes. Reading it well in flight was Kalpakis, but he was bumped to the turf. Coburg will get a free, and that'll be 50 as well. That could be the circuit breaker. They finally get it out of their defensive half.
We saw Richmond give away 2 50-metre penalties earlier in the game to give Coburg a bit of momentum back.
Yeah, but it did come back to hurt them. Kennedy looking for Bella. Can't get a hand to it. They clear defensive 50, Richmond, and the free will go Davidson's way for a push. And now they're going the other way. Collier, he's got numbers streaming towards goal. He doesn't know where to go. Corralled well in the end, and he's forced to go backwards to Johnson. Long up the line. Davidson, off hands. Can't find a teammate. Some frustration starting to show on the Coburg bench.
We won't repeat some of the words there, but I think they want the boys to lift was really the message the coaching staff was trying to get across.
Might have heard it through the effects, Mike, so apologies if that is the case. But the message from JCN, pretty simple. As they get another go at it here, Richmond, but intercepted this time by Bromell. One-on-one win here from Grant is good. They need more of it. Wobbles it towards half forward. Thomas had a little fumble. He's looking for Bella in board, but Elnor, who's got that shoulder heavily strapped now, is able to intervene, and Richmond will clear defensive 50. Davidson, Coriliano's got him. Turnover affected. Brown, Gillard. No free kick. Gillard again. Just pops it high. Coriliano and Garner go at it. Couple of experienced players. Gentile tries to break the tackle and does. Needs someone to kick to inside 50, and he only gets El Noor. Dintinisante couldn't get there in time.
So El Noor, that's his 4th mark he's taken inside defensive 50 this quarter alone. He's got the shoulder strapped up, and it's been a big reason why Richmond have got this 22-point lead. And you can hear the coaching staff saying, just got to kill that ball. Out the back is Sturgis. Managed to keep it in, had to get the kick away and did so. Will Bella's the target. He flew, he tapped it down to himself nicely. Bella might just try and launch this one into the goal square. He goes. We've got a couple of big targets in Grant. El Noir at the fall of the ball, got to get rid of it and does so. Just taking on the contact there, and he went for the barrel. Touch play on, he says. Might work out here for the Tigers. Coburg have certainly lifted their pressure here in the last minute or so, but Richmond have done well with Coulthard. Although that kick Not going to do them any favours, just keep the ball inside Coburg's territory. 24 minutes elapsed in the third quarter. You've got to think Coburg needs to get a goal before three-quarter time. Still plenty of time left in this game. Richmond have owned this third term. This will be thrown back into play. Ryan and Keogh just falls out to Mackenzie. Bella going back with the flight. Couldn't quite. The nice handball. Diento Sante with the floating ball in toward goal. Misses to the left. And the Burgers are pressing, but just a minor score there after a tough goal opportunity.
They need their midfielders and leaders to lift now, Coburg. 21 points down late in the third term of an eminently winnable game. The full-timers of Richmond just edging out in front a little bit. Here's Guiney from Old Zavs. Handball backwards, creates pressure. Can Coburg manufacture something here, perhaps? Guiney able to get it free. He goes again. Handball smothered.
I think that message from the coaching staff has worked, because Coburg certainly have lifted here.
Yeah, the intensity has just risen a little bit. They haven't been able to score a goal.
Crowd getting
yet.
into it.
They certainly are. It's a 3-goal 4-1-1 quarter in favour of Richmond so far. Late stages. Ryan's handball indiscriminate. And it'll be thrown back in. Certainly go time now. A goal either way before three-quarter time would just change things in a big way, you suspect. Freeze going Richmond's way. Advantage won't be paid. So Ryan has a chance to just release the pressure valve. Goes short to his captain, who's called to move it on. 2-on-2 contest. McAuliffe able to get their hands free, but Coburg with plenty of numbers. Cariliano forced to retreat. Dangerous corridor ball. Mackenzie needs to be good. Did enough. And now he gets it back here, Mackenzie. Sidesteps a would-be tackler. Takes a bounce. Drives it inside 50. Thomas went to ground. And Elnor got the fist. Great chase from Cumberland as well, it must be said, to affect the kick. Rigoni trying to keep it alive. He's confronted by Johnson. Strong tackle. Coburg emerge with it. Mackenzie gets another go at it. This time, Grant, the tall target, through his hands. Richmond defence doing really good work at the moment, and they draw the high free kick. And the locals are restless.
They certainly are. But it was there every day of the week as the kick comes out here to Brindley. The latter stages of this third term, Coburg got a bit of momentum, just can't get a score. And Coulthard, he's the fourth highest ranked player on the ground, is the young man. Must be 17th disposal to go along with the goal. Playing excellent football. Crigliano really taking the mark there. Richmond get some good meterage. Lovely handball from Garner. The kick comes in from Cumberland. Spoil. Cooper Keogh on the deck now. Getting the hard ball gets is the big man. That's a fantastic kick with great vision to find to Intino Sante. Now, can Coburg try get one back here before three-quarter time? Will Bella with the kick out here to the debutant, to Giacomo Thomas. Just able to keep it in. The kick comes in towards the pocket. Caleb Ernst was the target. Al Noir getting back and defending for Richmond as he's done so all day. Managed to slap that one back into play, and beautifully done from Al Noir once again. And Richmond have defended like their life depends on it as Beasley comes in with a swooping spoil. And we'll have a boundary throw in. True centre wing out of side. 28 minutes now elapsed in this third quarter. And with a quarter with not too many goals, imagine we're not too far away from that siren.
Taz Elnor has been so impressive in defence. Left the ground with a sore shoulder earlier in the term, got it strapped up and is back out there doing good things. And at the final change, it's Richmond 8-12-60 leading Coburg 6-3-39. The Burgers with a lot of work to do in the last.
Quite inaccurate. As the fourth quarter's underway here for round 6 of the Smithies VFL at Piranha Park. It's the Tigers with the ascendancy in this one. Trudgeon through hand, finding Gentili. one-on-one contest. Balla's been good all day, and he's taken the mark once again here for Coburg. Got to back himself in from here, considering his form today. He's got 3 goals, 1 does Will Balla, and he's hit a few of these set shots from long distance as well. On the other side of the ground, this would be the picture-perfect start of the last quarter here for Coburg as Will Balla comes in looking for his 4th goal. Just goes across the face to the left and eventually rushed over for a minor score, making that a 20-point lead here for the Tigers.
Could manage only 1 goal, 1 in that third term, Coburg. So Richmond go right up the guts from the kick in. Thumped away from Kazitsky. Trudgeon. McKenzie has a runner in Gentile. Puts it out into space for Ernst. But he's got 3 Tigers to contend with, and he gives away the free.
He's been unlucky today, Ernst. All the entries that he's had just haven't quite been there. I know he gave away the free kick, but just a better entry is needed. Yeah,
he's been outnumbered on a few occasions as well. Hasn't really been set up to succeed. Playing just his 3rd game at this level. Hasn't stopped trying or presenting, though. May can't take the mark. Plenty of Coburg numbers here. Trudgeon went to pick it up, and he's forced to go a long way back for Sturgis, who can reset. Inboard kick is good. Gentile, they've got some run and carry now. Coburg through the corridor. Tui finds Bella. Kicking it to where he'd rather be. Intinisante on the lead. And he's going to pop it over the top for Grant, who's got it.
Great ball movement.
But it will be a very difficult shot from here.
Just nervous moments as Trudgeon had to go a long way back, but eventually they transitioned that ball quite well there, did Coburg.
So Sam Grant, the 21-year-old, 204-centimetre forward ruck from Old Scotch. He's kicked 4 goals, 2 in the last 2 games, which makes up his season total. So he's got some confidence as he kicks from deep in the pocket. It's across the face. And again, rush through.
Yeah, tough opportunities were the first 2 set shots for Coburg. Would like to see one of them go through with Jamie Cassidy-McNamara. There's Richmond coming out here. Well done from Coburg. They're going to get some repeat entries here as it just sits there for Tom Rowland. Just affecting the kick. Taking in a big tackle there. Giving away the free kick was George. Coburg with an opportunity now to go inside once again. Just playing on there was Henry Brown, and a lovely kick there to find Sam Grant once again. He's a little bit closer in and not as much on the pocket for this set shot. Although that being said, it will be a tough opportunity once again. The 204-centimetre 21-year-old trying to make an impact here in the 4th quarter for Coburg. They've owned the first 3.5 minutes. Had 2 set shots that haven't been able to go through. This to get the first of the last quarter. Grant comes in with a shot towards goal. Misses to the left. And all of their set shots have gone to the left here at Piranha Park at the last quarter. But that makes it an even 3-goal game. Richmond leading this one by 18 points.
I need to get some value for money here, Coburg, while they've got the ascendancy. Because, you know, Richmond will have it at some stage. Trezise goes long. May the target of this kick in. Keogh's in the way. So too Trudgeon. They spoiled each other in the end. Gentile flicks it out. Tui is going to sear it inside 50 for Bella, but he has it punched away by Guiney. Rowland needs to be good here. He's got 3 Tigers to contend with. Spills free to Street, who's been terrific today. The Richmond captain. Trezise caught in 2 minds. He'll go again, Trezise. Outer side of the ground. Gentile closes him down. Kazitsky's gotten away from his opponent and marked strongly. Might just be within his range. He doesn't want to try it, though. Garner puts it to the hot spot. Ryan's there. Can't hang on. Well done, Gillard. And Coburg out of trouble. as they get a stoppage. Fennelly and Bella in the one-on-one.
It was a well-needed spoil there for Richmond. Been able to get it down their side of the ground really for the first time this quarter. Can they try lock this one in? You've got to think if the Tigers can get the first goal here, it's going to be very tough for Coburg to come back. No one could get a hand on it. McKenzie with the handball over the top. Bailey left the football behind him when he shouldn't have. As the ball hits the deck. Swooping in, though, was Kennedy. Working it out through hand. Back to Gentili. And it works out once again. There's Kennedy. They've done this nicely, have Coburg. Henry Brown, long way from home, thought about roosting that one. On the second attempt was Grant. He's being told to play on. Just dropped the footy there. Worked out, though, was Tom Rowland with the shot towards goal marked on the last line of defence. A good build-up from Coburg to no avail as Richmond will clear this one out as Joel Trezise, who's starting to heat up a little bit here in this last quarter for the Tigers. He's just going to wait and give that one off to Street, who's the leading ball getter for Richmond. This will be disposal number 24. Kane McAuliffe not too far behind with 19 for himself on the outer wing, as Richmond look to transition this one out.
Davidson. Just going to go long up the line. Kazitsky and Galvin. Galvin did well. Couldn't bring in the mark, though, and Richmond might punish him for that. May dragged to the turf by Cariliano. Certainly saved a shot at goal at the very least, did the Coburg skipper on that tackle. Margin still 18 points. First goal of the term, all important. Through traffic nicely was Kennedy. Bella needs to make a contest, does just that. Trezise was good on the ground, then lost possession. Umpire generous. And Richmond are on the attack once again. Kazitsky off to Brindley. Awkward looking kick inside 50. May at the back. Almost takes a strong athletic mark, and Galvin will see it over.
Richmond's just starting to get a few repeat entries, locking the ball down there now.
Warning signs now for Coburg. They dominated territory in the opening few minutes of the term. Now they've got to defend. Keogh did well to Kennedy. Feeds it to Sturgis, and they're working it forward. Here's Gentile. Spots the one-on-one that he likes. Thomas over his head. He's going to apply the pressure, though, Giacomo Thomas. Slaps it in the direction of who he thought was Grant. But Richmond able to clear. Brindley, Trezise has been busy. Kicks to an outnumber situation. Davidson did really well and has paid the mark. Now Richmond on the attack once again. May's well placed. Galvin got a hand on it. Beasley needs to be good, and he does enough.
Nervous moments here. Richmond really starting to press in this fourth quarter, extending that lead to 19 points. Walker, pick it up through hand to Kennedy. Looking to find Grant. Had to wait under it for quite a while. Street's there for Richmond. And Sam Grant looks to be a little bit sore. Just coming up onto the bench now. Picking up a few words on the effects mic today coming out of the Coburg interchange. Are a bit frustrated considering the scoreboard at the moment. Thrown back into play slightly in favour of Coburg's territory. Couldn't quite get a kick. Luke Bailey, he's been impressive to say the least, and Trudgeon just barrels that one in towards 50. Everyone flies. Umpires found a quick free kick going the way of Coburg. Al Noir was in disbelief, but it will come to the debutant here, Giacomo Thomas, who did have that goal from a similar spot in the second quarter. Can he create some last quarter heroics here for Coburg? They've had 0 goals, 3 so far through 10 minutes of this last term. Giacomo Thomas on debut, looking for his second goal here. Could he be the hero for Coburg to bring them back into it? It'll be a fair old kick from 50 metres out. He's got the accuracy. And the debutant with his second goal and another stellar set shot. And Coburg are right back in this one.
Well, just get the impression that Giacomo Thomas might not be playing at Duda Stars for a while. He's giving this Coburg forward line something that they need. Someone who can convert opportunities and only needs half an opportunity to do so. He's brought it back to 13.
Both of his set shots have been from about 50 metres out, very tight angles, showing a lot of class and composure for a debutant here at VFL level. And it's game on at Piranha Park.
And he's only got the 5 touches, but
he's had a good presence.
Yeah, he has, and he's just made a couple of things happen in that forward 50 where Coburg have struggled to kick goals. They've only managed to score over 60 points in half their games so far this season. So it's a pretty low bar. They're going to have to get above it if they're going to win today. We know that much. Free kick going Ryan's way in the ruck. Garner takes the advantage. High and long. Galvin well placed. Misread it in flight. And it's a free kick going against the Coburg defence. Archie May, I think it is, who's going to take the shot. And this would really hurt the Coburg fans and players here today.
Giving away 2 free kicks could result in a goal.
Archie May directly in front. Responds immediately for Richmond. And they get a bit more breathing space.
Yeah, Archie May, 2 goals, 1 for the day now. And Richmond, whenever they've had to respond here since taking the lead, they've been able to.
And you know, we've spoken about how we've heard a few words of frustration from the Coburg bench today, but what that says to me, this is a club and a playing group, they really, really care. They want to get this right. They know they can compete with these AFL-listed players and these teams with, 8, 10, 12 of them in the side, but it's just the little things that let them down every now and then, and that's the difference between getting over the top of these sides and finding themselves down.
Yeah, just a little bit of polish and composure and giving away free kicks when they shouldn't. As this bounce will be recalled. They have been able to fix a few things up coming into the 2024 season. We're listening to the State of Play podcast and we're talking about it, just getting better at the clearance battle, which they've been able to do, but Richmond will get this one coming off the boot of McCarthy. And Galvin, once again, he's been impressive in defence. He's had quite a number of contested grabs. The kick finding Walker. Working it out nicely here. Coburg will Balla. Sliding to the grass, putting his teammate under immediate pressure, but it might just work out here. Little kick over the top from Henry Bound will be turned over as Al Noir just saying, we'll slow it down for a sec. Take all the life out of this game. Oh, that's just a perfect kick there to find Austin Johnson. Well weighted. It looked like Walker was going to be able to impact it, but wasn't able to, as Austin Johnson, coming out of Cheltenham, sends them towards 50. They've got the numbers here to Coburg, and coming back onto the ground is Sam Grant after he came off with a bit of a right leg concern. So good to see him back on the field as Bromell just faked them out. Couldn't quite get anything on the kick though, and over the top Richmond go to McCarthy. They've just been able to weather the early storm that Coburg produced, and Kazitsky has been strong enough today for Richmond. Kicks him towards forward 50. At the back of the pack was Kalpakis. Just hoping for the best on that kick. Will Balla involved once again. Fennelly. Kazitsky was nearly tripped. It's a dangerous handball over the top to Johnson. Somehow squeezed the kick out. He's got a player unopposed, just couldn't hold on to the mark. Does fall here for Cumberland. Goes over the top to Collier. They'll work it out through hand. Archie May gives the handball off into the goal square. And Davidson is able to ice the game here. Sam Davidson made his debut in round 3 versus Werribee. And he gets what could be the dagger in the heart of the Coburg fans at Piranha Park.
25 points now, the margin halfway through this final term. Coburg need to win this upcoming centre clearance if they're going to have any chance of pegging it back. But the equation now, 5 goals in about 10-15 minutes. Very difficult. Grant's in the middle versus Ryan. Wins the hit out, does Grant, but Trudgeon couldn't hang on and Richmond will clear. Running hard onto this ball is Johnson, who marks in front of Kennedy. Drives it to the hot spot. Big pack of players, off hands Rigoni. Taken to ground. Donovan Tui, 28 disposals for Coburg. Joel Trudgeon, 24. Kennedy, 20. Lockie Street, 25 for Richmond. Kane McAuliffe's been really impressive. He's got 20. Here's Ryan. Brought to the turf by Grant. And it's a free kick against Coburg. Didn't quite see what that was for.
I think it was for ridden into the ground in the back there, and you can just hear the frustration and see the frustration on all of the Coburg players and the supporters. Once again, giving away silly free kicks in dangerous position.
So the shot at goal is going to be taken by Samson Ryan. He's kicked one today already. This will make it a 31-point game. He's on the 45. As Ryan kicks and puts it through and silences the Coburg crowd.
Caps off a nice day to Samson Ryan. 2 goals, 1, 11 disposals, 6 clearances, 22 hit-outs. He's gotten the best of Cooper Keogh in the ruck. He's also was able to draw a lot of free kicks as well. So another impressive day for Samson Ryan, who has been quite good for Richmond this year.
Yeah, 11 disposals, 3 marks, 22 hit-outs and the 2 goals, 1 for him today.
Having a look across the grounds for the Smithies round 6 VFL action. It's half-time between Werribee and Carlton. Werribee leading that one by 32. And half-time at Genesteel Oval, just down the road at Bell Street. It's the Northern Bull Ants down by 13 against Port Melbourne. So that's going to be an interesting matchup as that one goes on. But we'll shift our attention back to Piranha Park here after that lovely Samson Ryan set shot. Coburg trying to get something back here. Gentili with a kick in. That almost sums up this last quarter as Brindley goes back to Al Noir, and those two in defence for Richmond can certainly be proud of their efforts. Brindley and Al Noir have been very impressive. As Al Noir has caught in a few different minds there, but eventually goes to Fennelly, and Caleb Ernst has just given away 50 metres for a mark infringement. And the wheels are starting to fall off for Coburg now. They'll go through the middle of the ground. Samson Ryan in the centre circle. As we're used to seeing him. They'll just launch this one in. He ends up playing on and got around Thomas. Was taken out after the kick and taking the mark here is Austin Johnson, who's had a number of disposals here in this last term. Into the pocket he goes. 2-on-2. Sturgis brought it to ground. Somehow just reeled that in beautifully, did Sturgis. 1-2 action between them. And he's just got to hope for the best of that kick, and Samson Ryan will go back the interception. Take his 5th mark of the day and go across there to Street with a fantastic ball there to Noah Cumberland. Couldn't ask for a better hit up as a forward. Noah Cumberland, who we've spoken about, 0 goals, 5 on the day. Can he get his first goal, or will he bring up a goal all in blemishes? It's really just a bit of icing on top of the cake now for the Tigers as Noah Cumberland comes in. After that lovely entry, It's a wobbly old ball, and Noah Cumberland's now got 0 goals, 6. But it's not going to matter too much as the Tigers holding on to a 32-point lead as we've just hit time on in the last quarter.
Galvin, wobbly old kick, but gets to Gillard. Tui, quick hands were good. Kennedy, they've got numbers in the corridor. Gentile, downfield free kick advantage. McKenzie runs into trouble, gets it back to Gentile, runs to 50, drives it goalward and misses.
Had their opportunities in the last quarter, Coburg. They had the first 3 set shots that all missed, and there's another one God begging.
Yeah, 1 goal 4 for the term for the Burgers. Richmond have put on 3 goals 2. It's just the gulf in class and polish between these two sides. Sturgis has been good today. Sends them into attack once again. Reading it well in flight. Grant just couldn't complete the mark. Thomas applying the pressure. El Noor's high ball. Good luck marking it. Cumberland off hands. Collier, Garner, and now Richmond can bounce the other way. Davidson's got run in his legs. He's confronted but keeps his feet. He's got time to gather. He can sum up the options and pick out Olden at the top of the square. Well thought through from Davidson. And Olden can go for his second.
And that started with a fantastic pickup from Joel Garner at around the half-back line. He was very slick off the grass and catching the Coburg defenders off guard.
Yeah, the end-to-end transition terrific for Richmond just then. And it ends up in a Cam Olden goal. 37 points is now the Richmond lead.
Yeah, and you could feel this was coming sort of in the third quarter from Richmond. They were really starting to get on top of the contest, the territory, and all of the key stats. And they were very inaccurate in the third quarter, but they've pushed away here in the fourth, and the Tigers will move to 4-1 on the season, Michael, which I don't think many probably would have had Richmond pegged at 4-1 coming out of the first 6 rounds. Big wins against Gold Coast, of course, last year's premiers. They beat Sydney by 12 points, lost to Werribee, and then a big win against Casey last week. So they've picked up some big scalps on the way, the Tigers, and looking quite dangerous in the Smithies VFL. Even with an injury-plagued Richmond season, doesn't seem to affect the seconds too much. Coach Steve Morris in his 3rd year at the helm, be quite happy with the performance today after Coburg. Samson Ryan just getting another free kick here. Off in the Davidson direction, but Grigliano had the better positioning. He's going to go inboard to McKenzie. They're going to have to try and take the game on Coburg. Garner affected the tackle there. Little chip kick over the top to May. Couldn't quite. Kazitsky trying to come in here for the Tigers. Davidson once again out the back. They've done this nicely. Austin Johnson sold a bit of candy with the kick coming into the goal square and killed over the line for a minor score. As we can see, some of the Coburg supporters starting to leave Piranha Park here now.
Walker plays on to Beasley. Can't find his target, but Nelson there to mop up. Walker again. Rowland. Almost run down by Davidson, but finds Grant. Bramel's running through the corridor. Has Brown at centre half forward. Couple of teammates running back towards goal. He's tried to pick out Thomas, but had to fly over El Noor and couldn't quite pull off that feat. We'll get it thrown in. It's been a 7-2 second half from Richmond. It was only a 6-point game at the half, but since then, dominated by the Tigers. Cleared by Smith. Rowland gets the fist on it. Followed up and still in that ball. No one really wanted it for a moment. Now spinning out of trouble and firing a shot at goal. Didn't quite see who that was, but that's a great finish.
That was Bramell.
Bramell was it. So Coburg finally get their second goal of the term. It's all just window dressing now, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, a bit too little too late there for Coburg. Just hit 25 minutes now in this last quarter. to that last goal from Bromell, who's made his return from suspension today. He's got a goal to go along with 20 disposals, 8 clearances, 5 tackles, so he strung together a good performance, but not quite enough for Coburg as Richmond continue on their way in 2024. Lachlan Street, the leading ball getter for the Tigers, 26 disposals, 7 marks. Kane McAuliffe with 20, although we haven't seen too much of him here in this last quarter. Might be saving his legs as Coburg look to go inside once again. Trudgeon just turning that one over, hand passing it right to McAuliffe on cue. Garnett getting past a few, finding a target on the outer wing here at Piranha Park. That was George, Liam George that is. Just with a lot of time and space now, Richmond towards forward 50. Trudgeon was there, sending it back to where it came from. That'll be a downfield free kick going the way of Coburg. Trudgeon was taken down after the kick, and he's back on his feet now. He's a tough operator, is Trudgeon, as play resumes here. Chip kick didn't work out at all. Probably wasn't the required distance, even if he was able to mark it. Richmond handballing this one around. Good chase down from Gillard, although he just couldn't quite pull it off. And linking up beautifully, here's Garner. Just drew in the player nicely, and Richmond streaming into the forward 50 once again. They've got all the numbers here, do Coburg, and giving away a free kick. Once again, inside forward 50, Coburg have given it away, and it's going to be Cumberland who's the recipient of this one. So, Noah Cumberland. It's been good today. He'll take the shot. The 30-metre kick pretty much straight in front. The Queenslander is Cumberland, but the kick comes in, and the Tigers get another one here as the players get around him. Richmond will move to 4-1 on the season after Coburg giving away a free kick inside their own forward 50, even though they had the 3-on-1, and just sort of sums up their day, doesn't it, Michael? Or at least in the second half.
Absolutely. It's an 8-3 second half now in favour of Richmond, and Noah Cumberland up to 1-6 for the day. That'll be good for his confidence just to see one go through. 38 points. It is approaching the 28-minute mark of this final term. Donovan Tui and Joel Trudgeon, 29 disposals apiece for Coburg. Streets up to 27 for Richmond. McAuliffe, 21. Brindley, Elnor and Smith, all with 19. As we'll get a recalled bounce. McAuliffe tapped it to his own advantage. Garner went to ground, and he dragged it in. Keogh feeds Gentile, who's able to find Bella on a searching lead. And Will Bella has been a bright spot for the Burgers today. 3 goals, 1, and he can make it 4. If he can convert here. It's been a tough day for the Lions, but Will Bella has had a good one. 4 goals, 1. And there's a positive for the Lions.
He's been good today, Will Bella, not just with his goal kicking, but he's been able to get up the ground a couple times, taking some good marks around that centre wing position, and he's been very strong vertically, and strong set of jukes does Will Bella have. 4 goals, 1 won't mean too much at the end of the day, as Richmond still holding on to this 32-point lead. It was a fantastic first half, tightly contested. As you said, Michael, was only 4 points in it. But since then, it's been all Richmond. Garner, he's been great in this last quarter. Samson Ryan tried to spike that one back into play. just got a handball away. Cooper Keogh finding Corigliano, gives it back to Keogh, just left the football behind him, and the big fella hits the deck here. Does spill out there once again for Corigliano. Handed back there to Rigoni. El Noir affecting the play. The debutant there in Thomas, giving it back there to Will Balla. On the deck he goes, wrapped up in a tackle from Smith. Malova stoppage right on the paint of 50. A couple of bright signs for Coburg though. Thomas, fantastic on debut. Will Balla, who we just spoke about. And still some positives for Coburg. Certainly looking a lot better in 2024. But so are Richmond. We'll just have another repeat stoppage here, nearly at the 31-minute mark of this last quarter. And there it is. Richmond moved to 4-1 on the season after a strong performance in the second half to hand Coburg another loss here in 2024. And the Tigers were too good and too strong in the end.
That they were. They take it by 32 points, 13-15, 93 to 9.